Welcome to Overtime with Jared P. and Johnny O, episode 93. We'll get into the NBA playoffs. It's been very interesting so far. We have some post-NFL draft takeaways, and is Mike Vrabel getting a pass in this cheating scandal with Diana Rossini? That and more as the episode unfolds. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms, also on everywhere that you can get a podcast, all the streaming platforms as well. Just search Overtime with Jared P. and Johnny O. Thank our title sponsor. And I know, Johnny, you have a quick thing you want to share after that?
Yeah, I'll share it right after you mentioned Jeremy, which, man, I wish we could have got him on the show, but he looks like he's a little busy fishing a little bit the past couple weekends.
Yeah, he's living the good life. I guess playing in the NFL, then also getting an advanced degree, you can do extra things. He's in Spain, he's in London, he's deep sea fishing. Yeah, good for him. But Jeremy Phillips, elite performance chiropractic, and he's the owner, he's the chiropractor, he's the doctor there, and he gets you back feeling better than ever, whether it's a sports injury or anything that's going wrong with your body. They get you back better than ever with state-of-the-art techniques that he learned from being in pro football. Elite performance chiropractic. All right, Johnny.
All right, well, real quick, last week was kind of a crazy week work-wise, and then my brother, I call him Slicko, brother Rick, was in the hospital for a couple days, but he's fine now, so that's all good, but that's always a worry. And, we had plans that, going away a little bit over the weekend, but something happened. Something happened to me with all that chaos, okay? I'm an avid golfer, okay? And I've been playing for many years now. I didn't start till I was probably 30, but, since I moved down here, I've played a lot of golf. And, last week I got a hole-in-one, my friend.
No way.
Absolutely. Where? Well, a local par 3 executive course. We just went there to practice, really, but it's really cool. It's called Iron. What is it called? Iron Play in Summerfield, and it's 18 holes of par 3 courses. And on number 17, it's a 117-yard hole. It's really nice. It's got nice greens and all that. I would recommend going. I wasn't even thinking, I hit a nice shot. I hit a very high ball, and that ball was flying. I got it, a nice pitching wedge. It's flying toward the hole. My buddy Phil Papier goes, "What are you trying to make that?" And he turned his back. And then the other guy I was with, Ed Siegel, we're watching it. It drops right next to the hole, takes one little bounce, and disappears. It goes in the hole. We're like, holy crap, hole-in-one, man.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got to announce a hole-in-one.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the cool thing is Ed Siegel, one of the guys to witness this, when we were walking off the course, he said, he goes, "Do you want a plaque?" I go, I don't know. He goes, "I do woodworking, man. I'm going to make you a nice plaque. We'll put the witnesses' names on there. We'll have a place for the ball and a picture of you," because they took a picture of me next to the flag. So he's making that for me. So that was very nice of him. So I had the right guy with me to get the hole-in-one.
No, yeah, you have a good witness. No, and that's great. I mean, Kim Jong-un, who, he'll play 18 holes and he'll say, "I got 16 holes in one," obviously lying, the North Korean dictator. But that's great, man. That's fantastic. That's good stuff.
But real quick, you know how I'm a numbers guy. Think about that, man. My first hole-in-one, I have played, I don't know how many rounds of golf. Let's say in the past 15 years, I've played, 50 rounds of golf a year, maybe, and definitely the last 5 or 6 years, definitely 50 rounds of golf times, 15, whatever, what's that? I don't know, 750 rounds or something like that times, there's 4 par 3s on each 18-hole course. So you times that by 4. Think about that percentage of getting how hard it is to get. You got to have so much luck, obviously. I mean, you got to hit it near the hole and then just hope that it rolls toward the hole and in. But the percentage and the number to get a hole in one is just ridiculous. So, but hey, now,
Oh,
hey, I can die now, man. I can leave Earth. I got a hole in one.
that's right. That's great. Yeah, it's probably less than 1/10 of 1% to get a hole in one on a
Incredible.
par three. All right, well, awesome. Well, the NBA playoffs are in full swing in the first round of the playoffs, and I guess I'll go ahead and go with one of my takeaways is what's going on with Kevin Durant. He seems disinterested. He has an injury, but then he didn't play last night, and they won both the two games they've looked the best in. He didn't play in. So the two games against the Lakers that they blew out the Lakers last night. And then he was out with a sprained ankle. And I'm like, does he not want to be there? Because it feels like he's kind of turning into a much better version of like a Stephon Marbury. Like the teams he goes to, like they underperform.
Yeah.
Like this team should be much better than they are. I mean, the Lakers are out without two of their top three stars. And so, they're down 3-0. And I know Durant was out. He's been out for two of the games. They won the one game without him. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's outside of the Warriors where it's a loaded team. Every team he goes to, the Nets underperformed. The Suns underperformed. The Rockets, I felt like were better last year without him. I don't get it. It's a lack of leadership skills. That has been a knock on him. He can be kind of a cancer to the locker room. He loves the hoop. He's he's obviously one of the best shooters of all time and a great player. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, that's a good question to bring up because, he is injured. Okay. I mean, an ankle or whatever the foot, but I'm sorry, man. How many times over the last, 25, 30 years back when the 80s, when Jordan and Magic and Isaiah Thomas, when they had a sprained ankle, they wrapped it up, man, and played. He's sitting on the bench down 3-1 right now. They did win last night, but
last night was the elimination game, and he sat out. It was an elimination game, and he sat out. He was like, "I'm not playing." Yeah,
he's a superstar that needs to be playing, even if it's 50%. He's got to be out there. He can be a decoy. Wrap that thing up. So right. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's his ankle or his knee. I can't remember what they were saying, but. No, that's a good question to bring up. And Houston was really good last year. And then by adding him this year, they really thought they were going to do something here. And they still can. They're down 3-1. But, let's give that old man LeBron a little bit of credit, man. He had a bad game last night, but he's trying to carry this team because if they can make it, and I'm a Laker fan, if they can make it to that next series – and if Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves come back, look out. I mean, it could get very interesting. So I'm hoping at least the Lakers win this series and see what happens with that.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they don't win the series. I mean, there's been some major injuries. Dante Vincenzo from the Timberwolves. And then Anthony Edwards is out for several weeks. He's lucky to blow his knee out.
That hurts, man, because they're up 3-1 over Denver. They're up 3-1, and now they lose their two, basically their two best players.
And then on the other side with Denver, the Joker, who's to me still the best player in basketball. I mean, he averaged triple-double this year, and nobody's talking about it. He led the league in assists at 7 feet tall. He led the league in assists at 7 feet tall, and he's like 1 or 2, and he's top 3 or 4 in rebounding. And he's had like his 3 worst games in a row in the playoffs. He's just, and people are like, oh, it's the Timberwolves defense. Well, he plays against good defenses all the time, but I don't know. It's just been an off series for him. I guess it can happen. But it
is. Wait, it's definitely an off series for the Joker. Okay. But he's still, and his percentages are down, his shooting percentage and 3-point, is way down. But can you imagine this? He's still averaging 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists during this series. And they're like, what's wrong with this guy, man? I mean, he's not doing very well. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I guess his shooting percentage is just way down, but no, I mean, he's a baller. But so for me, I don't think there's anything that's been super surprising in the first round where I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, I think the teams that you think are going to advance from the East and the West are the teams that are going to advance from the East and the West into the next round for the most part. Do you see any storyline that you find fascinating about the playoffs so far?
No, I agree with you. I think the Knicks and Atlanta is kind of a fun
Yeah.
series. For some reason,
Yeah.
Atlanta gives New York fits. So that's a 2-2 series right now. But do you watch the Knicks at all play?
Yeah.
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 And I like Jalen Brunson. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a fantastic player, but man, he just hangs on to the ball way too long. Um, you know, dribbles a lot, and he gets his shot though, and he scores, and he is the star of the team. But here's a little stat for you. This is the playoffs, man. You got to find different ways of winning and have the offense work a little bit. Karl Anthony Towns is a hell of a player, and he had a triple double the last game. Okay, he had 22 and 10 and 10. So Jalen, they're the two stars of the team. Jalen Brunson so far in 4 games has taken 90 shots. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns has taken 42.
Wow.
That doesn't make sense.
It's more balance.
It's got to have more balance if they want to move on like they're supposed to this year and at least get to that Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, and people are already saying, New York media already saying if they lose in the first round that Mike Brown might be one and done in New York, which is like they keep blaming the coaches. It's like, it's more to it than that. But all right, yeah. So the NBA playoffs. I mean, it's I think Oklahoma City looks strong. Detroit, looks good. The Celtics look great. So I think you're going to have most of the top seeds move on, and then of course 4 or 5 series seem to go either way. But I don't think there's going to be any major upsets.
But don't forget about the San Antonio Spurs. Now that's a team that I got my eye on. Yes. I know I'm a Laker fan, but I'd love to see the Spurs make it to the finals because Victor Wembanyama is a lot of fun to watch. And he's 7'4" or 7'5". One game they say he's 7'5", the next game they say he's 7'4". So I don't know if he's going up and down here, or wears different sneakers or what each game. But yeah. I swear to God, they do not know how tall he is. But he's averaging 25, 7, and 3 blocks. But he had 7 blocks over the weekend. And he had a kind of a bad first half. And I think he had 5 or 6 of those blocks in the second half for them to come back and win that game. I would really like to see them come out of the West and play in the finals because I love that guy. And they got, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox as the point guard, Dylan Harper, the rookie they drafted this past year. That team is fun to watch.
They're a very good team. And they're down 17 at halftime and then won by over 20 points. They turn it on big time. Wemby is the new generation of a star where he has star power. He's very good. He talks some trash too. Like he isn't just some like passive guy, and he can do everything. He can do everything. He did take that nasty fall in that game and slammed his head on it. That's why I worry about him getting injured. But like he is man, at his age and his size, it doesn't even make sense to be that skilled.
He's just got to stay healthy. Man, I know those tall guys and what he does. Runs the floor like you're saying and just does all. I mean, he can bring the ball down court. He's dribbling between his legs. I mean, he's 7'4" or 7'5" doing these things, man. It's fun to watch. So Keep an eye on those guys.
All right, before we get into some post NFL draft talk, you want to hit our other sponsors?
Yes, we got Estate Jewelry and Loan. Something old and something new. Estate Jewelry has a great selection of new and estate jewelry, and you can really find a nice, unique piece for any occasion. Bring in your diamonds and gold and silver and all that kind of good stuff to Brian over at Estate Jewelry and Loan at 2511 Battleground Ave. And you can go online to their website to estatejewelryloan.com. We got Salsarita's Fresh Mexican Grill located in High Point at the Palladium and in Greensboro in the Target Shopping Center on New Garden Road. Got a food truck, catering, daily specials. Go check them out. And you can find their menu at salsaritas.com. And then our golf buddy there, For Real 24, real golf indoors anytime, Greensboro's premier 24/7 indoor golf facility offering iconic golf courses and state-of-the-art equipment. Go see Clay Jordan over there. It's going to start getting pretty hot out. And he's got a nice temperature control in his place over on Horsepen Creek Road and Battleground. Great little facility, high tech. And then we got California Burrito Express and Bar, offering full bar with margaritas, draft beer, serving with very generous portions of Mexican food in a spacious, casual setting. He's got all kinds of TVs, and he just opened up another one. He's got one in Greensboro on Spring Garden and another one in Winston now. Go see Marco and tell him we sent you.
Fantastic. All right, the post-NFL draft talk. Is there anything that stood out to you, Johnny, that you're like, oh, this team – they really nailed the draft and they're going to do something special, or is it kind of more of a ho-hum draft to you?
I think the Eagles were they came out on top for the whole draft. I'm kidding.
Of course.
No, the one that really stands, just a couple things, and then we can discuss them. But Fernando Mendoza, what a class act, man! He stayed home. To be next to his mom who can't even walk, man. I mean, it's a great story, but a lot of sadness too. But give that kid credit, and you know what? I want to see him excel in a Raiders uniform. I would love to see that. So I thought that was really cool. He didn't go for all the hoopla in Pittsburgh and do all that kind of stuff. He gives and takes, man, and he hung out with the family. So that was really cool. Well, here's one. Let me ask you this. Arizona Cardinals, who the hell, they're meaningless, okay? Right. And they draft Jeremiah Love as the third pick. I feel bad for Jeremiah Love. I mean,
I know.
For the next 2, 3, 4 years, and they don't have to pay him that much money, on the rookie contract. Why did I think he's going to go to a waste. It's going to be a total waste being with the Arizona Cardinals. What do you think of that?
No, I saw that because you see these, great college athletes will usually go to a bad team, but sometimes the bad team, the team that's had maybe the quarterback got injured, and so they had a down year, like the Patriots, a couple of years ago, and they get Drake May, but not a Cardinals team that. Yeah, they've been to a Super Bowl and they had a run for a little while, but at the last 10, 15 years, they're just mediocre. There's not a fun team to watch. And so, that's disappointing. And then also I know running backs have had like a surge recently, but then also kind of, I think, risky to take a running back that high when I did hear there's like a record amount of like offensive linemen taken in the first round. Like
that's how it should be.
Getting back to the trenches is what, if you can't protect your quarterback, you don't have a chance. I don't care who you are. You've seen the years when Mahomes, I say this every time, but the years Mahomes has lost a Super Bowl or had a bad game, or even Brady, it's when they couldn't protect him,
Absolutely.
And I don't care who you are. If you don't have time to throw the ball, you're not as good. Now, I did see some rankings. Apparently the Panthers got an A+ ranking everywhere we saw it for their draft class.
Oh, great.
Some people say they won the draft with how well they drafted for key needs and things. Yep. And that's a team on the rise, and they're in a very much winnable NFC South.
They just have to get a quarterback now. No, I'm
I know. It's like it seems great. It seems terrible sometimes. Okay. But the A classes, according to a lot of different outlets, are the Panthers, the Browns. These are A+. The Giants with Harbaugh, Dallas Cowboys, shockingly, A+. The Raiders, A, and Washington Commanders, A.
Nice.
And let's see, where's your Eagles? Then the B classes were Ravens, Bills, Bears, Bengals, Packers, Steelers. And then C draft class, and some say even worse. Some say the 49ers had one of their worst drafts, but Niners, Seahawks, Cardinals, and the Falcons. And then a D class, we got Vikings, Jaguars, Broncos, and Texans. I don't even see the Eagles. I may have skipped over them. Maybe they had a better class.
Because I I love the wide receiver that the Eagles took, Mekhi Lemon out of USC. I mean, they were
Yeah.
saying he should have been a top 10 pick, and he went down a little bit, and the Eagles traded up to get him. So you know what that means. I mean, he's a top dog. I mean, people are really talking him up. So bye AJ Brown. I don't
Yeah,
care.
he's
Let
gone.
him go.
Yeah.
Let him be someone else's headache.
Exactly. But
Yep.
he did get you the Super Bowl. That one year,
Yep.
if he played, you won. If he played, you won. That the year y'all won Super Bowl. You know. Oh, y'all got a B plus rating, the Eagles on your draft class.
Yeah, because we picked up a tight end, Eli Stowers, but the one that I don't know if you knew about this guy. I didn't know about him. He played for Miami. Markel Bell, offensive tackle. Okay, I love that pick. I think it was in like the third or fourth round. 6'9", 340 pounds, man. He's the biggest one ever.
Cow.
Yes.
Holy cow. That's something special. All right. And speaking of the draft, there's one coach noticeably missing from the last day of the draft, Mike Vrabel. And the question is Mike Vrabel getting a pass for openly or being caught having an affair for some saying up to 6 years with Diana Rossini, as alleged, but now it's pretty much confirmed. I mean, it's been confirmed with pictures and them kissing and staying at resorts, going back to 2020 at bars together. I guess some of the facts about it. Vrabel's been married since 1999. Yeah. Rossini got married in 2020 to like a Shake Shack executive. And then she had a baby in 2022, I believe, and named him Michael.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
she has 2 boys.
2 young kids. Her first kid named Michael, and she sent out a post, said, I spent the last 4 days looking at my newborn son, Michael. It got me thinking, who is the best former player and coach named Michael?
Unbelievable.
And that's when Vrabel was with Tennessee. So some people are saying, well, they were definitely having an affair then, is the thought. And you name your son after the guy you're having an affair with, and you do a post. Who's the best former player and coach named Michael? She's talking about Mike Vrabel, former player and coach.
That's incredible.
Look, with all this being true, he's a POS to do this to his family. She's psycho. Yep. You name your kid after the person you're having an affair with?
You talk, and you're both in the limelight. Okay. How did you really think you were going to get away with this? And you mentioned this has been going on for 6 years. Okay. She's been married for 6 years. She started with Vrabel as soon as in 2020, she married that guy, Kevin Goldschmidt, at the time that she was having an affair with Vrabel. I mean, this is awful. And Vrabel has been such a clean guy. I had total respect for him, what he's done with New England, and just, he's 50 years old, but, he's married 26 years, 2 boys. His wife, Jen, looks pretty nice. Looks real nice.
Former athlete.
But man, Rossini, she'll never work again. I think she's going to have a hard time getting a job.
Yeah, and then people say, with the past, like with her, like with reporting, I mean, you could say with the way the media is, but there's, at least within the institution of journalism, there's standards and practices, and her getting information, through sleeping with somebody, it just makes one, people are saying it's setting women reporters way back, because there's always that suspicion, she got this job because she's attractive or she's hot, and so of course she's getting all the scoops or whatever. And apparently there's some rumors that this is not uncommon for a lot of these female reporters sleeping with coaches or players. If they're single, whatever. But if you're married, come on, man.
Yeah.
And then AJ Brown was with Vrabel in Tennessee, right? And then if I guess they were saying like she could do a report saying maybe negative things about AJ Brown, knowing to like devalue him, knowing that Vrabel wants him, and so like maybe get a deal if my reporting is devalued. That's the part where the ethics of journalism, where this is why she's been fired or resigned or whatever. But as a coach, I mean, he's getting, I'm sure every day at home is like rough as it should be for him. So he's not getting a pass to me in the sense that like he's being tried in the court of public opinion. But as far as Rossini and Vrabel, she's getting the brunt of it.
Yeah, she is. She is. And I think what I'm saying by getting a pass, I just think of some other, high level athletes that, have gotten in trouble, have done the wrong thing. And it's just, the news is, 24/7. This has
Right.
been a little bit quiet now. Ever since they kind of confirmed it now, they chat about it a little bit or a little bit more, but not as much as I would think. And what do you think? I mean, is this going to affect him in the Patriots?
I think it would, except for you have an owner who, he's getting the, HJ at the strip mall in Florida, and then his girlfriend or whatever is 50 years younger or whatever. And then you got Belichick that was there that was dating someone 50 years younger and allegedly had affairs. And then pro sports, it doesn't make it right. I'm saying it's not right. Pro sports notorious for cheating. And so it's kind of in the culture. It's wrong. You're destroying family. It's not right. But it's not unusual for NFL players or especially NBA players. The NBA players, apparently, Dennis Rodman talked about of all the sports or athletes, NBA, they just have groupies everywhere because they're closer to the court. There's 5 people in the court. Everyone's more recognizable, and for whatever reason. But it's just known for that. Now, you might not recognize his name, but Kristen Cavallari, she used to be married to Jay Cutler, but she's a reality star. She's very pretty, but she's single. She's on a podcast, I think, with Alex Cooper or one of the Call Me Daddy or whatever podcast, I think. But I know she's on a podcast, but says she was talking to maybe when she's married to Jay Cutler, or dating, but they would talk about, some of the players would talk about road beef. And the players were saying, oh, yeah, in Minnesota, I got some road beef there. I got some road beef. Basically, they're calling women road beef. And she was like, said it made her laugh and she appreciated their honesty. But he's like, that's so messed up. It's just a recipe for disaster. You're rich, you're famous, you're an athlete. And then these coaches, they're on the road. Doesn't make it right. But like, I would never want anyone I know dating a professional athlete of any sport. Baseball, hockey, none of them. Like, no. Or a rock star or a rapper or, anyone that's going to be gone, an actor that's going to be gone a lot. You're putting yourself in a bad situation. It's going to be a lot harder for you.
Absolutely. And, when the whole road beef thing, now, I mean, if they're young guys now, you get
they're
drafted,
single.
you're 20 years old and single,
single's a different story. Yeah.
Whole different ball game. Ball game.
Yeah.
This ball game here that we're talking about, they're both married, one for 26 years and one for right from the starts of this affair. I mean, mind-boggling. I mean, I don't know how soon it's going to be on. What do you call it? It's going to be a Lifetime movie real soon.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And Vrabel, I think if let's say he'd been a coach for a couple of years and they're, 500 or under, that I think that they would use it as a reason to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But you're guessing the Super Bowl. No, they ain't getting rid of him.
You go to counseling. We'll get this figured out.
Plus, they all know, all these players and coaches and executives, they know what people are doing. They know where their bodies are buried. I mean, it's like, and I think that's why some of the sports shows didn't really want to touch it too, because if they're the personal life stuff, they don't want to get into because it's like the people are like, oh, what about you? And they're like, oh, I don't want to touch it. But the ethics of it just doesn't look good. And then the poor spouses and kids, it's just not good.
Those are the ones, seriously. I mean, they're going to hear it at school. I mean, if they're in schools, and some of them are, and we really haven't heard anything on that end, but I'm sure we're going to hear something, man. But I did not realize that she named one of her sons Michael, though. Oh boy.
You got to look at that tweet and saying, looking at my 4-day-old son, Michael, with wonder, and made me think, who's the best former coach and player former player and coach named Michael. And you're like, are you a sociopath?
Did she actually say that?
She posted that. This is real.
Gosh.
Yeah, trust me. We talked about this on our morning show. We're like dumbfounded by it. Like,
wow.
Then they find all these clips of her. Like, anytime she's asked about her husband on these shows, she just takes a dump on him. And then Diana Rossini was interviewing Mike Vrabel one time and was saying, I think his wife was there or whatever, and said, "Hey, your wife Jen was a great athlete, or was an athlete herself." And he was like, I mean, I would say she used to be a great athlete. Like, he was even kind of like pushing her down because he's like flirting with her. And okay, you can have it under the level of wrong, like denomination wise, like if with money, like $1 and $1,000, it's all money, but one is greater than the other, right? So it's one thing if they made a mistake and they had they lost their mind one time, and then that's still bad. And you broken trust forever. A 6-year affair, at least, at least, at least. We don't know how long, and then Vrabel's, to me, are more to blame. He was married the whole time he knew her.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah. Woo. No, good point. Very good point. All right. Well, the sports world, the TMZ sports world goes on, man.
Yeah, it all intersects now. Well, great show, Johnny. Glad you got the hole in one. We start calling you Vrabel.
We will leave on that note, man. All right, buddy.
All right.
Overtime pay. We're talking the overtime play. The big stories, the big plays, the big drama. We got